Go ahead and get started. I'll introduce myself. I'll have Alex introduce himself, and then we'll have Joseph jump on. I know he prepared something for everyone here. So I'm Savannah. I also go by the Net Worth Nurse. I have one of my business partners with Net Worth Nurse here on the call, Kai Arnold. Really created that to share what we're doing in real estate with other nurses. I own long-term rentals, and then I got into multifamily syndication. So that's really what I do now. So I buy apartment complexes with investors. So usually people who want to invest really, really passively in our deals, and it offers really great returns. We have some amazing things going, and we're always looking for new investors. So if that's something that you're interested in learning more about, please reach out to me. I'd love to chat. I'm a registered nurse. I've been a registered nurse over 8 years. I've worked in a bunch of different specialties. I live down here in Los Angeles, California, and my real estate investments have just allowed me to leave my full-time gig. And so now I work per diem as a nurse in the pre-op, and really it took 2 long single family homes over in Atlanta, Georgia, and 3 apartment syndications to get there. So that's allowed me to replace my income. And now I'm working per diem and planning to buy more real estate.
Hey guys, my name is Alex Sabio. I am married father of 4 here in Southern California. Absolutely love doing real estate. Been doing it a while. Made a lot of mistakes along the way. And currently I buy luxury short-term rentals, and I self-manage them from a distance. I'm in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee, and as in 2 weeks I'll have 2 in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and I actually just put an offer in and it was accepted today in Gulf Shores, Alabama. So that'll be 3 short-term rentals in the Gulf Shores. So that's exciting. That's a bucket list thing for me to own something at the near the beach. And short-term rentals has been phenomenal for us, my wife and I. So she was able to retire from her W-2 job. She's also a respiratory therapist. And I'm looking to walk away from my W-2 job here soon. So now my passion is helping others achieve success in real estate. So whether that's short-term rental, long-term rental, multifamily syndications, or any form, if I could find the right person in my network, I'll point you the right direction. I'll do that. So I love talking real estate. Hit me up anytime. So Savannah and I co-founded the Healthcare Professionals Investing in Real Estate Facebook group. That's grown like wildfire in like 2 months. I think we got like 1,200 people on that group. So I'm excited to grow that. Yeah, that's it.
Alex, real quick, I'm already connected with Savannah and Joseph Griffin on Instagram. What is yours?
The Real Alex Sabio on Instagram. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we really created the Facebook group for everyone to kind of share resources. If you guys are a part of that group, you see how active it is. It's super, super awesome. There's a lot of people in there taking action, doing all sorts of things. So not just short-term rentals, not just multifamily syndications. I mean, we're really about sharing a lot of different strategies in real estate, which is why we're bringing Joseph on today, because he does tax deeds. So really just trying to share a lot of resources with you guys. Like Alex said, we have a lender coming on next week. And then the first of the month, we do network. So we plan really those calls for everyone to get on. And then we do breakout groups with people so that you can just kind of get to know each other and share resources. I know personally, I've created a lot of partnerships through meetups just like this. This is exactly how Alex and I met, was through one of a meetup like this. This is how I met Kai, my business partner. I've met other people that I've partnered with in real estate deals through these type of meetups. So do not underestimate the power of connecting with people. I made a goal when I was going on these meetups to connect with and like DM like 3 people from every meetup I'd go to. And then I'd make it a point to over the next week, reach out to them and just touch base, see kind of what they're doing and share resources. And you never know, like 6 months from now, you could be, oh, I remember that one person from the meetup who had this resource. And it's a really, really great way to grow your network. And real estate is all about your network. So leveling up through your relationships is super, super powerful. So we hope you guys get a lot out of it. And with that, Joseph, we are going to make you the co-host so you can share your screen and present whatever you have ready for everyone.
Awesome. Awesome. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, we sure can.
Okay, awesome. So Before I get started, if everyone here can please go on your Instagram and go ahead and do a boomerang, do a video, tag Tax D Wolf, tag the real Alex Sabio, tag the net worth nurse, tag us. I believe in energy. All right. So everybody in this room, y'all are powerful. You create your own energy. You create your own destiny. All right. So thank you, Alex. Thank you, Savannah. Thank you, Kai, for having me on the show today. Definitely love everything that you are all doing. I mean, we opened up the Zoom call and my man was over here painting his Airbnb. Like, I don't even think I'll realize how smooth that is. You have Savannah here who just went part-time from nursing. Alex said his wife retired and now he's trying to get out. This is a powerful room, and we're sitting here on the internet. I see a lot of people in California. I'm all the way down here in Florida. We are sitting here on the internet, and it's still powerful. The energy is gonna keep going. You don't have to be standing next to someone in a room, but the energy is there, and you just gotta manifest those things. Okay. So can y'all see my screen here? Just if somebody would give me some feedback.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, awesome. So I don't want to be rude. I want to introduce myself. My name is Joseph Griffin. I am known as the Tax Deed Wolf. A lot of people are like, oh, you do taxes? And I'm like, no, not quite. So tax deed investing, when someone does not pay their property taxes, the county is going to take their property and going to sell it in an auction. Okay. This has been going on from like the beginning of time, since the monarchy. All right. Kings, if you didn't pay your taxes, you see in all the movies, some tax collector came by and said, hey, you owe me 500 shillings or whatever they said. And they beat them up and they kicked them out of the house. All right. This has been going on like forever. Now, this is also going on in America, and your state is going to determine, which type of tax deed or tax lien or redemption deed is conducted. There's three different types. Okay. Liens is where there's a waiting period, and you're pretty much buying the debt. And if somebody wants to keep their property, they have to pay you back with interest. All right. And then, they're paying you. You're like becoming the bank with a lien. Okay. There's a waiting period. With redemption deed, it's kind of like a hybrid of tax deeds and liens. There's a waiting period. You don't get those properties immediately in the auction. But what we tax deed investing, okay? There are a few states out there that do tax deed investing, but the beauty of it is you don't have to live in said state to invest in that state. So we have a lot of students that are actually purchasing property in Florida, and they're all over the US. Some are even in other countries. Okay. That's tax deed investing. When you win the auction, it's yours immediately. I've sold property within the first 2 weeks of acquiring it. So I'm Joseph Griffin, handle at Tax Deed Wolf, if you want to go follow me on Instagram. So I really don't want to keep y'all here too long. Savannah told me don't talk a lot and keep it short. So I'm going to do that for y'all. Started off in the Army. Okay. Did 11 years. I was National Guard. While I was in the Army, I got my nursing license. And nursing, I love nursing so much. I love it. But it was affecting my health. Believe it or not, being in healthcare was affecting my health. I couldn't do it after my deployments in the Army. I had anxiety when I came back home, and being in that ICU, having patients throwing poop at me and having the whole patients down, call security. It just was not the move. Okay. It was not where I wanted to be forever. My bosses were not smarter than me. I pretty much ran the whole hospital, and somebody came and tried to tell me what to do. I wasn't buying it. You're not going to tell me what to do with my COVID patients if you've never even seen a COVID patient in person. All right. Couldn't do it. So started tax deed investing actually a few years ago. But when I was traveling, I had some capital, and I was like, what can I do with this money? There's got to be a way for me to invest in real estate. Real estate's where it's at. The issue in America is higher cost of living, right? Inflation. When your money is sitting in a bank account, your money is constantly going down. Okay. Inflation is at like a record high right now. It's arguable, but inflation is sucking right now. Even gas prices are kind of going up. And I think a lot of people are seeing that. So your money sitting in a savings account, it's doing nothing. It's going down like this. So what does every investor do? They put their money into something that is at least going to hold equity, right? The real estate market is has been consecutively going up throughout history. Back in the day, people were saying, hey, I bought a house for $20,000. And that was a lot of money. Nowadays, like, oh, I got this 3-bedroom, 2-bath for $300K. And nobody bats an eye. Okay. The housing market is constantly rising and it will continue to rise. Okay. Yeah, we have some setbacks, we have some resets, depressions, recessions, whatever you want to call it. But the market will continue to rise just like anything else. History repeats itself. Now, the problem is I was working a lot of hours, right? That might be some of us here. Very little pay. To make more money, I had to work more hours. I have 2 daughters at home and a wife that actually wants me home to help her with the daughters, right? So there was no more picking up extra shifts, right? There wasn't enough family time, like, oh no, I got to work this weekend. I had a meeting with an investor. This guy's a millionaire. And I asked my boss, I was already working weekends so I could take my daughters to school during the week. And I asked my boss, I said, hey, can I get Saturday off? Because I have a meeting that's going to change my life. A big investor, he's literally told me that he wants to give me a crap ton of money so I could do tax deed investing. She said, you have to find somebody to switch with you. Are you kidding me? I'm the manager. Who is gonna switch with me? So that was the last straw. I knew I had to get out. I actually still ended up going to that meeting. I just left on a lunch break, had somebody cover for me, because when you have a goal, you have to do whatever it takes, right? To achieve that, you have to make it work. I left on a lunch break. There was a few people that were capable of running the floor, and I got on. I left, right? Now, what that mentor told me is I wanted to leave nursing. I said, hey, when should I leave nursing? Right. And he said, well, you need to make 3 times your salary monthly, and you have to have enough savings in your account for 3 to 6 months. And I took it and I ran with it. All right. I started flipping properties left and right. All right. And the beauty of being an entrepreneur, you don't have a salary cap. You don't have to just keep putting in more hours to make more money. You are not capped. There's been days like I'll flip a property and in a couple of weeks and make $15,000. The average American makes $30,000. Like, are you kidding me? I can flip a couple of properties in a couple of months and make more than the average American. It's nuts. All right. This is tax deed investing. So here's the solution. The real solution is passive income. All right. I don't want to sit here and tell you tax deed investing is the only way out, because it is not. All right. Tax deed investing is just one of the most affordable ways to get your foot in the door in real estate. Okay. My first property, I actually purchased for $3,000, and then I sold it for $10,000. Now, some people might say that's not a lot of money, but for almost doing nothing, that is a $7,000 flip is a decent amount of money for doing nothing. And you can keep scaling that and keep doing it. I then further on kept going. And then I made up a strategy that I'm going to buy empty lots, because people really weren't focused on it. Started buying empty lots. Now I get lots for $5,000 and I sell them for $20,000 to $25,000. Some people might say, hey, that's not a lot of money, but those people who say that are still working a 9 to 5. So if you have a process that's working, hey, by all means, go with it. Now, when you're a tax deed investor, that makes people's ears like shake. You say, oh, I do this for this amount of money. I was telling the hospital, I said, hey, I'm putting an early retirement. I had doctors calling me. I have all these investors calling me. Hey, can you take our money and do that with it? Hey, can you take this amount of money and do that with it? And at first I was like, no, I don't want anybody's money. I'm scared. No, I don't want no money. But then I was like, you know what? Let me do what the banks do. Get rich off other people's money. Did you know when you put your money in a bank account, it's not your money anymore? Like, seriously, if we all went to go try to take all of our money out of the bank account, it just wouldn't happen. The banks don't even have that money there, right? Cash. When you put your money in the bank account, they're going to invest that money. Let's say you put $1,000 in, the bank might make $10,000 off that money. Guess how much you're going to get? 10 cents in dividends that in the end of that month. All right. So you need to become the bank. If you really want to establish some generational wealth, you have kids, you have a family, real estate. Okay. Real estate. That's where you want your money. Passive income. I have a few houses. I'm in Deltona, Florida right now. I actually have 3 houses in Deltona, Florida, and I'm a landlord, right? Tenants suck. Okay. I'm just being honest. Tenants suck. Okay. There's other strategies out there. So not doing things like lease options. When a tenant moves in, they have to give a security deposit, right? That deposit has to go into an account and gain interest. When that tenant leaves, you have to give them that money back. And you're also responsible for all the maintenance. Now we do lease options. I'm charging someone a down payment, $15,000. You move into this house and you have an option to buy that house. You're responsible for all the maintenance. If the AC breaks, don't call me. If there's a hole in the wall, don't call me. If there's a leak, don't call me. That's your house now. And you pay me $15,000 to move in, right? And you're paying me rent, and it's going toward the mortgage, and that's passive income, right? Statistically, 30% actually exercise the right to buy. Now, that means that when that person moves out, what am I going to do? I'm going to keep pimping that house out. I'm going to charge another $15,000 for the next person to move in. All types of strategies here, okay? And can you get houses on tax deed investing? Yes, you can. You can get anything, okay? But the goal is passive income, a side hustle, a business. I have influence on here because I know a lot of people that are actually making money just off Instagram, myself included, okay? People will literally pay me to post certain things, to wear certain clothing. Instagram is showing ads on my videos, and I'm actually monetizing and making money there. You need to start establishing some passive income. All right. Now, tax deed investing, the cheapest way to invest, it can make you an extra 30 to 100K a year. I'll say it really just depends on who you are and how much funds you have. What does it create? More time with your family, more time freedom. You learn business structure. You have the opportunity to get funding. Like I said, people are literally trying to throw money at me every day. Now, this is something that when you learn this strategy, a lot of my students don't really see the big picture. They're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this for myself. I'm going to take this 10,000, do this, and do that. And I'm like, look, you can do more. You can definitely do more. You do your first flip and you talk to an investor. People are lending money left and right for worse things. All right. You can definitely get funding. I took 50%. I'll use somebody else's money when I started, use somebody else's money, do a flip, make $20,000, and I would take half of it. I would take $10,000 and give that other $10,000 back to that investor. That's still more money than they would get in any other account. And that's $10,000 is a lot of money for you to have done really not much of anything, right? And to not use your money. So there's a lot of different options that you can actually do with tax deed investing. In our course, we actually teach proper business structure and everything. I know I mentioned landlording, but you can't just open up a LLC and become a landlord. It doesn't really work like that. You would get sued and lose everything if you had like 5 properties under that one LLC. But that's another lesson. So what are you going to do first? You're going to win your first property. This is actually a picture of me and my 6-year-old daughter at my first property that I got in Daytona Beach for $3,000. Now, that $3,000 turned into $10,000. As I mentioned, our average strategy now is $5,000, and we're turning that to $20,000 to $25,000. One of the guys on my team, he actually got a house for $15,000 in a Panama City area, and he sold that house for $130,000 without touching it. Okay, so there are a lot of awesome deals out there in the tax deed investing world. Okay, I know I told you I was going to put y'all on game tonight, and that's why a lot of you are here. So quick and easy steps. Now, what are you going to do? Whatever state you're in, you have to understand which type of state you're in. If you're in a tax lien state, then of course you won't be able to do tax deeds in your state, but you can do tax deeds in a tax deed state like Florida. Florida also has online auctions, so anybody can buy property in Florida. I was literally in Puerto Rico attending an auction, okay? You buy that property, and we also teach some off-market strategies for people who do live in tax lien states, because just because you're in a tax lien state does not mean that there's not deals out there. You're driving past empty lots and boarded up houses almost every day. So we teach you how to actually acquire those properties and go through with those deals. So I'm not really just doing tax deed investing. That was just my foot in the door, just like most people. They start one way, and then that kind of opens up doors to other things. I've even had to do some wholesaling when I created more deals than I could even handle with my funding. Just wholesale the other few deals and still make some money. Now, you're going to establish partnerships with this. I'm partnered up with a few different builders all over Florida. A lot of times I have buyers before I even have properties. So tomorrow I'll actually be in an auction. We're looking to get like 4 properties in that auction, and we already have a few builders that said they will buy the properties for us. This is passive income. This is creating generational wealth. This is you doing whatever the heck your heart desires. All right. You have that money coming in, and now you don't have to worry about listening to your boss, but you definitely still need to be smart with that money. So you're going to research the property. That's step 1. Do your due diligence. because not every property is a good property. Okay. Step one, research your state. You're going to research your county. These auctions are county specific. If you put in Google California tax deed sales, you might not find what you're looking for. All right, because you need to be more specific than that. You need to actually put in a county. For instance, I'm in Volusia County, Florida. Volusia County tax deed sales. This is public information. There's going to be an auction website. You're going to click on that auction website. Now, this is actually a county in Florida right here. And this auction is tomorrow, November 9th. There's 40 properties going in this auction tomorrow, 40 properties. Okay. So we're actually going to try to acquire 4 of those properties. Now, when you find your auction list, it gets a little deeper than just buying up everything, right? You have to do a little research. There's been some so-called lawsuits where people try to sue the county because they said they're selling bad property. You got to do your research. All right. You can think that you're buying a house and get there and there's no house there. It's just an empty lot. You do not want to make costly mistakes. And that's why mentorship is important. A lot of people come to our program before it's too late. One girl was like super excited. She told me she just bought a house. She was ecstatic. I was like, whoa, okay, that's awesome. How much did you get it for? It's like, oh, I spent $90,000. I got this house, bam, bam. She was dancing. She sent me a video of like her whole family jumping up and down and everything. And it was a lot. It was an empty lot. It was literally an empty lot that she paid like $90,000 for. And it's like, look, this is why you need mentorship. Okay. People think they're getting condos. Somebody on my Instagram was like, I just purchased 5 properties, condos. I looked at it for her and I was like, you purchased empty lots. And this is why mentorship is important. She was like, oh, your program costs too much. And I was like, how much money did you spend on those? She's like, oh, like 30,000. It's like, my program costs too much, but you just lost $30,000. So mentorship in any field. Okay. If you really want to pick something and run with it, please hit up a mentor, hit up Alex, hit up Savannah. They're specialists in their field. They're experts in their field. Please get mentorship. Don't try to do it on your own. It's going to take you a lot longer and it's going to cost you a lot of money and you're going to make a lot of mistakes. All right. Just being honest. I made a lot of mistakes in tax deed investing when I first started. Now, what are you going to do when you find that property? The best thing to do is cross-reference 2 different entities. All right. I know I said I wasn't going to talk a lot and I'm talking a lot anyway, but hopefully, drop somebody comment in the chat, education, if you want me to keep going. Education. Should I keep going? All right, I'll keep going. I see a lot of education coming up. Awesome. So cross-reference 2 different entities. How many times have you put in your GPS an address and made it to the wrong address? All right. So you definitely need to double check. Here's an app that we use called LandGlide. You have to check parcels and addresses. So when you find a property, let's say a property is an empty lot like this, it may not even have an address if there was never a house there. Okay, so you have to put that parcel number into the LandGlide app, just like these screenshots we have on here, and it's going to literally show you the owner. It's going to show you the size of that lot. It's going to show you the market value. It's going to show you pretty much everything that you need to know, and it's going to actually show you the geographic location. So when you drive there, you can go kind of look and fill out that neighborhood, see what's going on. Now we actually have a software coming out next month where you can actually you can pay someone to go and take pictures of the property for you. So for people who don't live in Florida or don't live in any other tax deed state, it's an awesome tool. You can literally pay somebody to go there and take some pictures for you. You can do the title searches, the lien searches, all from that one software. You don't even have to get into the auction site until auction time, because that's where you can put in the criteria and add it to your list. Like, I only want lots that are quarter acres going for under $1,000, and bam, it'll generate literally everything in that county. That's a software that you can't buy on the market. Like I said, when people see what you're doing, they're in your inbox. Somebody created the software and asked me to test it out for him, and then gave me the opportunity to actually give it to students. So that's pretty awesome. These are the type of things that will happen for you as well. When you when you pick something, you make it your craft and you run with it. So this is going to be tomorrow. And for everybody here, I know I just gave you like a little, it would take so much to show you everything, right? We would be on this call all night. And I know a lot of you are tired. It's Monday. Some people had to go to work. Some people have to go to work tomorrow. So it would take a lot, to tell you everything. So what we did, especially for the people that are on this call right now, I definitely wanted to reward you all for joining and just supporting everybody in this group. This takes time. This people aren't getting paid for this. You know what I mean? This is people's spare time that they wanted to come together and do these Monday meetups, and they wanted to give back. They wanted to spread knowledge the same way we got knowledge from our mentors and peers. That's what we want to do for you all. We want to give back. So somehow I was drawing on this screen. I don't even know how to move it, but we have a tax deed investing ebook for everybody on this call. You can get that ebook tonight for $47. If you want to learn more about tax deed investing, you want to see the exact steps, you want to click on the links that we have there, go ahead and get that ebook. That's going to get you your foot in the door, and it's a really good start. It's going to put you 3 or 4 steps ahead of your peers. Okay, get that ebook if you're really interested in investing, and you're going to do great. You're going to do great. If you in anything that you want to do, you just have to manifest it, and you have to keep going. You just no excuses. Just do it. All right. Success loves speed. I think I have that on the next slide. Neil Davis, he says it all the time. Success loves speed. When we're talking about stocks, you don't want to be the last person to get the GameStop stock when it's already going down. You don't want to be the last person to get Tesla. You don't want to be the last person on anything. You want to be the first. Okay. So be the first, no excuses. I've invested in so many mentorships this year, probably about $30,000 worth of mentorship that I actually paid for, marketing, everything. And it is, when I tell you it's changed my life, it's literally changed my life. My wife doesn't have to work. I'm home with my daughters. I have a nanny that just comes to my house and watches my daughters. It makes my life so much easier. It's awesome. I have employees now. I don't even have to type stuff in my calendar anymore. Like it's just, it's just great. And it's not that I'm lazy, it's just that you can be doing other things. You can be doing better things with your life when you don't have to put in so much time to actually generate income. So anybody that buys the ebook, $47. I actually want to do one more thing. If you purchase that ebook within the next 24 hours, go ahead and go to my Instagram page and comment on my last post. Tell me if you learned anything from this video. Tell me anything, and one of you will actually be getting my my course for free. So it's a $3,000 course, but whoever gets the ebook, go comment on my post. Done. Tell me what you learned from this video. If you learned something that was awesome, put that comment there, and you'll be entered into the drawing to actually get my $3,000 course for free. So I definitely love rewarding people who like to stay connected. No excuses. Oh, my daughter was crying, this, that. Everybody's full of excuses. But for the people who aren't, those are the ones that are going to be successful. The ones who are the Alexes, who's about to purchase a property on the beach. You know how many people are like, oh, I'm scared. Oh, I don't know. That's not how he got his wife from being a respiratory therapist, right? That's you can't be scared. You have to just do it. Make smart decisions now. $47 isn't a lot of money, so that's definitely a smart decision for you all. But that's all I have tonight. If anybody has any questions for me, go ahead and reach out. You can follow me on Instagram if you aren't already. Twitter. We do have the Tax Deed Investing group on Facebook. Everybody on this call, you will have access to that if you get the ebook. If you don't get the ebook, go ahead and go to Facebook. Just search Tax Deed Investing. You should see us on there, and I'll go ahead and accept you all to the group. We post deals in that group. There's other investors. Sometimes I'll put in properties, my top property picks for the month. Just a whole network that we have established. It's over 1,000 people in there, almost 2,000 people in there right now. So definitely stay connected. All right, stay connected. Feel free to ask me any questions in my Instagram. I do not charge for questions. I really don't. But of course, I'm not going to train you up on the whole entire mentorship. But if you have a quick question, definitely, if you have a question about the book, whatever, go ahead and ask those questions. So I'll put the link in here. Oh, look, the link's already in there. Thanks, Malcolm. Thank you. You're awesome. So Malcolm actually took my course, and he actually became a business partner. Man, I said actually like 1,000 times, but Malcolm is actually a business partner of mine. and doing some awesome things, showing people how to grow their business. There's so many different strategies. We got a rental car company. We've been giving out loans. Just when you get that money coming in, then you need to funnel it. Don't leave your money sitting in a bank account. Just leave enough for what you need and invest the rest. That's how you're going to build that wealth. And that's all I got. Anybody got any questions? Let's stop sharing.
Amazing. I love it. Thank you so much, Joseph. A few of the things I want to touch on that you said that I actually loved. For sure, the mentorship, that's huge. I know Alex and I are big proponents of that. We say it all the time that we've learned what we've done that way. A lot of people can attest to that. And that's why we also give back to the strategies that we do and mentor people as well, because it's super, super important to get to that next level. And then another thing you mentioned was that you can pay someone to go and take pics of these properties. And I know probably everyone on here has heard of Brandon Turner and the whole driving for dollars thing. Like, this concept is not new. Like, there's really no excuse why you can't invest in a certain market, or why, if you don't live in Florida, but you want to do what Joseph's doing, you could buy his ebook, take his course, still invest in Florida, and you leverage some of these tools that he's talking about to really make it happen over there, even from across the country. So driving for dollars isn't a new thing. But it's a way that a lot of people are able to invest out of state. So super cool strategy. I love that you mentioned that, because it kind of goes in line with your no excuse attitude, which
No excuse, ever.
Does anyone have any questions? You can pop yourself off mute or go ahead and drop them in the chat. Go ahead. Tax deeds are new, but again, this is why Alex and I love sharing the different strategies. Is there ways. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but every time I listen to a new strategy, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, this is what I want to do next. But then you're like, got to stay in my lane, got to stay focused. But touching base with people like Joseph is key.
Joseph, so how passive is this? I mean, how much time are you putting in, like, every week? What does your weekly routine look like?
That's an awesome question. So for me, a lot of my questions are like, it depends. My answers are, it depends. Mainly because, one, I don't believe in right and wrong. I believe in appropriate versus less appropriate, especially with investments. So my assistant does the research now. I've trained her up, and she actually just puts these properties right in front of me. And I'm like, you know what, let's do it. Or, let's not do it because of this, and that. With me though, I can literally search through an entire list. I did say I have the software, so I don't even have to search anymore. Bam, put it right in the software that will be available next month. But before I had that, it was taking me like 15 to 20 minutes to research the properties and see which ones I want. It was a simple copy and paste it, put it in the land glide. Okay, this is here. I like the neighborhood. You can kind of see a lot from that aerial view. If all the roofs look horrible, and I can see certain things that I'm like, you know what, this might be the ghetto. I don't know if I even want to buy a lot here. It's not worth anything. But if I see like a bunch of nice size houses, structure looks great, hey, I'll buy it all day. And then I'll pick a day to just go drive around and look. So for instance, I drove down to Lee County, looked around the area, kind of scoped out to see where I wanted to buy, and actually connected with a few builders there, some realtors, some brokers that I met on Instagram. So, I mean, Instagram is a great tool. I literally made some partnerships, like Savannah was saying, and these guys are ready to buy the lots that I'm going to purchase tomorrow. It's just, I can make 30,000 off of this in the next month, if that answers your question. I know it was a long way to answer, but
No, it does. That's crazy. There's so many ways you could make money in real estate. I always tell people, just open up to something different. I think everyone always thinks, I'm going to buy a house, maybe rent it out, and it'll pay itself off over time. If you told me I'd be getting into short-term rentals a year and a half ago, I'd tell you you're nuts, So yeah, thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Definitely. And like we were saying, look, y'all, there's a ton of strategies. There are a ton. Okay. So do your research, figure out which one, you want to tackle, be realistic too. Some people are like, oh yeah, I'm about to go get this $1 million house and make it an Airbnb, credit score 650. Like, come on, be realistic with your goals as well. But, work on your credit score first, then do this, then do that. But there's a lot of options out there. Davis, I see you raise your hand. You can go ahead and unmute.
Hey there, guys. Appreciate the presentation. Like I said earlier before you gotten on, I am new to it, so of course I got a lot of questions, and of course I've got your ebook from earlier
Awesome, awesome.
today. So thank you for that. Also for Florida, or really for any city, do you have an idea or a strategy for determining like the emerging cities or emerging metro areas? You know, of course, your South Florida, you know, everybody's there, but those secondary markets that may have a new factory slated to be built there to employ, you know, 500, 1,000 people. Do you have maybe a go-to source for, you know, to find out what's emerging, what's happening in a given state, so you'll know where to kind of focus in on?
So awesome question. There's a couple of things I do. I'll go drive there, right? I'll stay with the major cities and I'll kind of go on the outskirts of them. Hence the reason I live in Deltona, Florida, right in between Daytona Beach and Orlando. I don't like living in the city. One, the prices are higher, especially if you go to Miami. You go to Miami in a tax deed auction, and you
Crazy.
might see houses selling for like 300K still,
Mm,
right? So that's Miami for you. So stay away from like the bigger cities. I normally go right on the outskirts. I'm seeing the development. I'm partnering up with builders, talking to people, just being in the right rooms, you kind of know things. So literally I was at a place called Citrus Club. It's in Orlando, Florida. You have to be a member to enter. Really prestigious place. Like you have to have a college shirt on, all this and all that, right? And somebody he's a builder, and he was telling me that he wants a property in Ocala, Florida. Ocala is like in the middle of nowhere, but apparently it's the horse capital of the world, and they just build a racetrack there, right? So a lot of people are actually trying to move there and build houses and retire there and go there and gamble and make money and all this and all that. And so I was
mm.
like, wow. And look, he's actually on this call right now. And he was telling me about this. Daniel, definitely. So these things happen, just being in the right rooms. My realtor, Cassie, she's probably on this call too. She brought me to the city zoning commissioning board meeting, and they literally talk about, what they're doing. You can go to certain banks and request to see, what they have going on. What are they going to be funding in the community as well? So a lot of different strategies, really, but more so be in the right rooms. Be in the right Facebook groups. I tell my students when they buy properties all the time, they're like, oh, how do I sell it? Okay, put it on Craigslist, put it on Facebook Marketplace, advertise it as much as you can, but also go to Facebook groups.
Mm.
Go to Facebook and search a certain area and get into one of those realtor pages in that area, right? So Daytona Beach realtors, there's probably a group. I just made it up, but there's probably
Yeah,
a group for Daytona Beach realtors. And you
sure.
literally go in there, start connecting with people, and now you got partnerships.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Thanks.
My pleasure. Who's next? Yes, realtors are your source. Realtors know everybody. Cassie knows everybody. Don't be scared, y'all. Don't bite. Ask your questions. I'm busy the rest of the week and I may not be able to answer them.
I have a question.
I don't know who said that, but yes.
Okay, so I just purchased the ebook, but I am more of a hands-on. I'd like to talk because I do have a lot of questions. So how can I purchase the actual course that comes with, I guess, everything in your mentorship?
Good question. So in the ebook, there's going to be some links there for you to get to the, but you can also just shoot me a message on Instagram. Okay. And we also have a phone number, 386 the wolf. I'll type it. I'll type it. Yes. See, I'll type it in the chat. You can text that number. If you see my Instagram, you'll see that I have that number there. And I'm like, text 386 the wolf. And a lot of people are texting property to 386 the wolf. All right. Just so y'all know. It's an awesome marketing tactic.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure. Who else? Who else?
Joseph, are you focusing solely in Florida where you are? Are you going all over the country? Like I'm here in California, so.
it's easier to manage, of course, in Florida, but I'm open to wherever it makes sense. Wherever it makes sense, that's where we're investing. Like literally, I don't turn down a good investment. It makes sense. I'm doing it quick too. Like I said, success loves speed. If I don't do it fast enough, somebody else is gonna beat me to it. Especially in real estate, you don't make that offer fast enough, somebody's making that offer. I missed out on like 2 houses in New Orleans. Like I literally waited an extra hour to reply, and it was under contract already. Success loves speed.
Especially in this housing market right now. Houses are off so quick.
Definitely.
I think we got Kenneth there with his hand raised. Maybe you could jump on in. Hey, Kenneth, how's it going?
I'm good. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No, I just want to say I appreciate you, Joseph. I think thinking about it, I think I hit you up about a year ago, and I'm like, yeah, I want to do it. But a lot of times, like you said, we make a lot of excuses on on like what we need to do. If we want to do something, just jump and do it. And you can either keep doing what you're doing as far as going to work, clocking in and clocking out, or not. You know what I'm saying? Like Malcolm too. You know, and I've been getting on with Malcolm as well. And this is kind of I downloaded your ebook too, so I'm looking forward to reading into it. And I appreciate you doing this online stuff because, you know, I just got off work. It's funny because I got off work at 9:15 and you started this at 9. So I tried to hurry up, get off, get in. And, you know, it's I know it's worth it, you know, and like you said, just going into your craft and what you want to, and what you believe in, what you want to do. And I just really appreciate you doing that because it's hard to find the time, but I just have to make the time. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate it. And I'll be reading up. I do a lot of research myself. And you and Malcolm have inspired me to do like just certain things, you know? So even though I haven't, now I'm starting to make those moves. I've still been trying to do my research. So thank you, Joseph. I appreciate it. And Malcolm, I know you're not on, but Mal, I appreciate you too, bro.
Our pleasure. You know, we really want to give back. Got to show everybody that there's a way out. You know, quick backstory on me. I grew up in the hood. I wasn't supposed to make it past 25. Dad was in jail my whole life. Don't know my mom. My grandmother literally like kidnapped me from my mom and raised me. So raised by a single mother. Just wasn't supposed to be here. You know, I have a brother that was killed already. There's no excuse. So whenever people are like talking to me, they're like, oh, this and that. I'm like, okay, what are you gonna do about it? Whenever you go to start making an excuse or back out of something, or you're talking negative, just say, all right, what am I gonna do about it? Like literally, investing. I've had clothing stores. I've had after school cares. I've had so many businesses that I'll say they failed, but realistically, they didn't fail. I failed them. I wasn't consistent enough. I was 21. I wanted to party. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. But look at me now. I wake up every morning. I read. I go to the gym. I've been intaking a lot less alcohol. I haven't drinking alcohol in like 15 days. You know, there's a lot of sacrifice that actually comes with being successful. I'm making Facebook, Instagram posts. Like people are like, man, you're posting twice a day. You hire somebody to do that? Like, no, I will sit there and make all my posts in a day and have them on auto post. All right. There's so many ways. I've bought everybody's ebook that you can think of that's on IG. Any big influencer, I bought their ebook. I was on their mastermind. I took their course. I took this class. I took that class. And now it's a wrap. I'm coming. There's 1% of Americans that make $400,000 in a year, and I'm one of those 1% of Americans. And look at where I came from. I wasn't even supposed to be alive right now. So there's no excuses. None. Zero.
Period.
You have another question from Deania.
Yes. So correct me if I'm wrong. I know you mentioned there was 3 different types of ways that you can do the tax deed investing, I think. And from my knowledge, I know I've heard once before, like when you buy these properties, you can't, I forgot the word that you use. You can't, I guess, actually move in it or start working on it until like after 2 years in the event that a person wants to come back and get their property back.
So that's with tax liens. There's three different types. There's tax deeds, there's tax liens, and there's redemption deeds. So with tax deed sales, the minute you win that property in an auction, that's your property. With a tax lien sale, you're pretty much bidding on interest. So if somebody owes let's say Alex, no offense, Alex, but let's say you owed $3,000 in taxes for one of your homes, we're going to go in a tax lien auction and I'm going to bid on that $3,000, which says I'm going to pay it, but I want 10% interest from Alex. If I pay $3,000, he has to pay me back. I suck at the numbers, but what, $3,300 or something like that? Is that 10%? So he has to pay me back $3,300 if I pay $3,000. But somebody else can say, I'll take 7%. I'll take 5%. So you're bidding on percentages with tax liens. You're pretty much becoming a bank. It's like giving a loan. But to me, it's not worth it, really.
No.
I do personal loans and I'm getting like 25 to 50% on those loans. So no point of me taking 7%.
Okay, so tax deed, tax lien, and what was the other?
Redemption deeds. So if you got the ebook though, it'll be explained in there for you.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Okay, I have so many more questions, but okay, I'll read through.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to talking to you soon. If you want to get the next package, go ahead and book a call with us. We literally talk to each and every single person. You can't just go buy the course. We have to make sure you're a right fit. Some people we get
Perfect.
on the phone, they're like, oh, I got $2,000. We're not here to just take everybody's money. It's like, look, you're not really going to be able to do anything with $2,000. You know, like I said, have realistic goals. You have to be very realistic with yourself, but that doesn't mean there's not another route. Sometimes you just have to take another route until you can take, the route that you really want.
Got it. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Wise words.
What's up, Andrew? Yeah, I just answered your question. Awesome.
Yeah,
cool.
thanks.
Well, I'm glad everybody made it tonight. Y'all are literally separating yourselves from everybody else who's making excuses still. Some people that didn't make it, my inbox is already blowing up right now. There's going to be about 100 people that message me tomorrow that say, oh, I can't make it. Is there a recording? Like I said, people are just full of excuses. Try to get yourself out of that habit of telling yourself you can't. Instead, say, how can I, right? Work on your mental. Somebody said, oh, sorry.
Yeah, quick question.
Oh, who's that?
I just wanted to know the name of the software that's supposed to be launching next week.
Next month sometime.
Next month, okay.
Yeah, I have a call Wednesday. It's gonna be called Tax D Wolf Academy.
Okay. All right. No doubt.
It's only gonna be for our students though.
Okay. Appreciate that.
No problem. Anybody else? What was I saying? I said, it's a trio. Take care of yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually. All right. You got goals, write those goals down, manifest them. Don't just write the goals, write the action plans that you're going to do to achieve those goals. Okay. You got to be specific and realistic and take care of your mental health, take care of your spiritual health. If there's people around you that are dragging you down, it could be your best friend, but distance yourself from those people. All right. I have 0 friends right now. I have business partners, but you don't see me going out all the time. You really don't. I'll post a video. I'm with my wife. I'm usually with my daughters. Not many people can think on this level. I don't have an Alex or a Savannah or a Kai that lives next door to me, that we can just go talk business all the time. There's a lot of other people that's not wanting to do with a lot with their lives. What's the best way to make sure that there aren't any additional liens on a tax deed property? So there's a few companies out there where you can do a title search or lien searches on them. So we show you all that. Good question though. Very good question. when you're buying a house, you definitely want to check and make sure there's no liens on it. Because if they're not paying their taxes, chances are they're not paying a whole lot of other things. So definitely want to be.
Wouldn't, sorry, just a quick question. Wouldn't, like, if there was a lien out on it, wouldn't that be like, I mean, maybe I'm just thinking like rose-colored glasses. Wouldn't that need to be like published? You have to go find that out.
So it won't always be published. It really just depends on which type of lien it is. Let me give you an example. If there's an empty lot, if I'm buying an empty lot and the grass is cut, but they didn't pay the property taxes, do you really think they were paying for the grass to be cut if they weren't paying the property taxes
Yeah.
for 2 years? So you'll have what's called a lot clearance lien. When these people go cut grass, they will cut the grass in the lot because the city wants the houses still well kept and maintained. So when they cut that grass, the city's going to pay the company, but then the company is going to put a lien on that lot. Now you owe that company for cutting that grass on that lot. If there's a water leak in an abandoned house, the city's going to send somebody to come fix it, but they're going to bill the owner still, even though nobody lives there. So little things like that.
I figured the city would be built.
No, the city's not. No, they're not paying for nothing, especially in Florida. They ain't paying for nothing. Somebody's paying. Somebody said, how much is our course? Our course is $3,000. What is the time frame upon winning the auction to pay for it and actually take ownership of the property? Good question. When you win an auction, you have to pay by the next day. And literally, as soon as you make the payment, the county is going to mail the deed to you. So I've sold property before I even got the deed in the mail. You pay, county's sending the deed to you, but when you go through the title company, they'll make sure everything's legit and stuff anyway. You don't have to go through title companies. You don't have to do quiet titles. There's 5 different ways to sell, and I actually show you all that too. Hopefully that answers your question. We got a lot of questions coming in. I'm in no rush, so sorry. Good evening. I came in. I have a question. My husband and I are framers builders coming into the house flipping business, but don't have a lot of credit, but we do have enough cash flow. What are your thoughts? In credit building companies already had 2 bad experiences. So for that one, get with me offline. Send me a message on Instagram. I'll put it back in the chat for you. You can send me a message on Instagram. We do have a credit repair service that we can start. Do you always buy at the auction, or do you work out deals with the person that owes the lien? So we do teach an off-market strategy. The reason we don't like auctions is because unless you're Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, chances are there's somebody in the auction that has more money than you. All right. So we try not to take properties to auction. We do have other strategies where we'll acquire those properties before they get to auction. And we do have other strategies where we're acquiring properties that aren't on the auction list. So like I said, if I see an empty lot, abandoned house, I'm all over the place. There's wholesalers that I know, they offer me deals. Hey, I message you first. Do you want to buy this property before I do this, and that with it? A lot of realtors get houses before they're put on the market. It's really all about who you know. Credit doesn't play a part in this process. You only need cash. In our course, we actually teach you strategies where you can use business credit cards to fund some of these deals. Issue with mortgages, it's compound interest. So if you get a $200,000 mortgage, by the time you pay off that loan, might be like paying $300,000 or more. But with credit cards, we're actually like the only country where our credit cards are simple interest and our mortgages are compound. Whatever your credit card APR is, divide that by 12. That's how much you're paying a month. So business credit is actually an awesome way to make cash without taking a cash advance. Of course, that APR be crazy high, but turn that cash into houses, turn that cash into properties on a business credit card. We do teach that strategy. We teach everything in our academy. All right, anything you need to know about tax deed investing, business structure, asset protection, strategic tax filing, we teach it all in the academy. But for the sake of time, that'll be the last question. If anybody has anything else, please reach out to me on Instagram. Once again, thank you, Savannah. Thank you, Alex. Thanks, Kai, for having me tonight. And thank you to each and every one of you that joined. Go ahead and comment on that recent post that I did on Instagram. But I love y'all to life.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joseph. We are going to have this recording put up on my YouTube. I'll either do it tonight or tomorrow morning, and then I'll share it to that healthcare professionals and real estate Facebook group. So that'll be available there. And like Joseph said, go follow him. You can get access to all his stuff. He is good people. You want to, when you're looking for a mentor, a new strategy, or something that you're wanting to be doing, you want to look for someone who's just energized, pumped about it, positive. Like Joseph already just on this call is going over so much mindset stuff. That is a huge, huge factor in real estate investing and success. So the fact that he's touching on that now, I can only imagine it's built into his course. So someone really valuable that you'd want to connect with if you're looking into tax deeds. Thank you so, so much for coming on here and sharing all that. And then Alex, next week we have, I forget his name.
Jeff Chisholm, he will talk to us about how we can purchase a vacation home with 10% down and some of the myths to that. So
awesome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you all next week. Take care. Have a great night. Shout out to everyone on the East Coast, including Joseph, who I know it's 10 o'clock over there. So much love.
New Jersey.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good night,
everybody.
Thanks. Bye.
Take care.